Hi, I'm Mr. Bacon, and we take the most stressed providers in one of the most honorable professions and help them transform into mentally and emotionally grounded characters. Do you have the guts to take Mr. Bacon's advice?
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the neighborhood, and welcome back to this installment of Building a Better You. This time, I'd like to talk a little bit about burnout, something that if you've been in public safety at all for any amount of time, you have certainly seen it. And in reality, if you're going to be in public safety for any amount of time, you're probably going to experience it. So first, let's talk about what burnout actually is. According to the International Public Safety Association, they define burnout as a syndrome that results from chronic workplace stress that is not well managed. So let's kind of tear that apart a little bit. A lot of words, but I think it makes a whole lot of sense. So it's a syndrome, which means there's multiple aspects of it. Workplace or chronic workplace stress. Chronic means that it is long lasting versus acute, comes and goes. And then workplace, well, our workplace is full of stress, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. And the most important piece here is not well managed. What does that mean? Well, we manage really well our scenes that we go out on. We manage our patients, we manage our truck checks, we manage our chores. What we don't manage very well is ourselves and how we take care of ourselves. So let's talk about that syndrome and what burnout actually looks like. We know that burnout will affect almost every aspect of your life. Your home life, work life, relationships, even your health. And that is all because of that little chemical called cortisol that our body releases. We like it, especially as public safety, because we get that shot of it whenever we have an emergency. Whenever the tones go off, our body drops cortisol into our system, and that gives us the energy and the heightened awareness that we need. What we don't like about cortisol is that if we don't metabolize it before the next dose, we start to get a buildup of it. And that's where the chronic stress comes in. If we can't get rid of it, then that continues to build in our system, and that will lead to exhaustion instead of giving us the energy that we need. And with that exhaustion, which is part of the symptoms of increased stress or increased cortisol, we start to feel other events or other pieces of the syndrome, which not only is exhaustion, but is anxiety, depression, irritability, anger, lack of compassion, and an inability to get along with coworkers or family members. So, we've talked about chronic stress, which leads to burnout, talked about what it looks like, how we can recognize it either in ourselves or in our coworkers. Now let's talk about some practical ways to help alleviate it or prevent it from happening, or to something that we can do to mitigate its effects on us on a daily basis. Or maybe these could be some suggestions that you could pass on to a coworker. I've got a short list of things here, certainly not all inclusive. Pick and choose. Maybe you're already doing some of these things. Maybe this is something that you can pass on to a coworker. So I'm just going to run down through these. They don't need much for explanations at all. So first one, get out and move, stretch. If you've been out on a transfer and you're coming back in, don't go from the truck to the couch and become a couch potato. Get the juices flowing. Do some stretches. Number 2, get outside. It's warm weather, or getting warmer. Get outside and put some steps in outside. Fresh air always does a body good. Kind of an odd thing to say for public safety, but eat healthy the best that you can. That can be a hard thing to do, but do your best to be able to eat healthy. Play games. Get your mind off from things. A lot of people play cribbage, so they bring in cards and play card games. Listen to your favorite music, whatever that is, or music that relaxes you while you're at work. Again, just to get your mind off from things. Make sure that you take a vacation. You got to get away from work, and whether you're actually going away or it's a staycation, you can't be a workaholic. You got to have time away. Develop an exercise program and incorporate it while you're at work. So 2-3 times a week, or maybe every day, depends on your level of enthusiasm for it. But you've got to do something. How long have we heard about eat right and exercise? So the next thing would be develop a hobby, something that has sparked an interest in you, something that you can do, whether it's reading or something with your hands, can be anything, as long as it's getting your mind off it. And then last but not least, make sure you have relationships outside of public safety. Those relationships with someone that you can trust, that you don't have to feel the pressure of talking about work all the time. It gets your mind away from work, and yet you've got relationships, someone that you can just talk about anything with. So I hope this helps. This certainly isn't an all-inclusive list, but I hope the discussion about burnout kind of brings it to the forefront and gets you thinking about it, and kind of examining your own life, and maybe helping out someone, maybe a coworker or even a family member that you might be seeing it. So I hope that you can take this and can apply it, and the goal is to keep everybody mentally, emotionally, physically healthy. There's not enough of us to go around. We're short-staffed no matter where we are in public safety. So we don't want to lose anybody if we can help it. So incorporating some of these things, understanding it a little bit better, and maybe this is just whetting somebody's appetite, that they see something and they want to ask some more questions about it, so they can prevent it from happening. So I hope this helps. I look forward to seeing you the next time. Thanks for joining us here in the neighborhood. I'm going to take a few minutes and just relax with a little bit of jazz. It relaxes me at work. So as always, make good decisions. We'll see you around the neighborhood. God bless.